So for years now, I have been making videos on the lore and story of Call of Duty. And throughout this time, there's been many different twists and turns. They've even implemented an overall universe that ties together the current Modern Warfare franchise with the Black Ops universe, zombies, and everything all together in one. And we've been covering this for a very long period of time. But what if I told you that there was a completely separate Call of Duty story, different than anything that we've ever looked at on this channel? However, it implements all of the lore, all of the backstory, and all of the characters throughout all of these games, however, all into one overarching story. Well, some of you are probably yelling at the screen, telling me that you've commented on my videos for literally years now, telling me to check this out. Others of you may be saying, this doesn't exist. Well, here I am today to show you exactly what this is, and it is the story of Call of Duty Mobile. To understand this story, you have to take everything that you know about Call of Duty, the lore, the background, the characters, keep it in the back of your head, but get rid of the timeline, the story that we know, because this one is completely new. Now, if you guys want to see me dive further into this and do the full story of Call of Duty Mobile, maybe even a series on the channel, if you like that and you enjoy this video, show me by hitting that like button. And let's say if this video gets 5,000 likes, we will continue and make this a series on the channel. But for this video, I kind of just wanted to show you guys how I stumbled across this and tell you about this story before we dive into it any further, because needless to say, it is absolutely wild. So the first thing that I did is I went to the Call of Duty Mobile YouTube channel and had a look at what we saw here. And a lot of this stuff I recognized as Call of Duty and a lot I didn't. But knowing the amount that I know about the lore of Call of Duty, I had a look in the top right corner. And when you have a closer look at this, you may recognize that building in the background. That says Deisler. Now, a lot of you may not know this, but Deisler is a thing specifically from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. It is the robotics company that made a lot of the equipment from these games, including the RCXD, the AGR, the Claw, the Dragonfire, Mantis, and a lot of the weapons from the game as well, including vehicles and counter UAVs, everything along those lines. So already pulling in some backstory from the Black Ops universe, which by the way, Deisler Robotics has a way darker backstory that I've talked about years ago in a Black Ops 4 video. So from here, I wanted to see where the story goes with this game and how it started out. So I went to the very beginning and looked up the very first cutscene.
I took this job because it makes the world a safer place. And that safety is never guaranteed. But I know someone else is working to make the world a dangerous place. And that someone is still out there.
So from this, we can see the implementation of many different Call of Duty stories. We have the Black Ops universe 1 and 2. We have Ghost as one of the main characters. And later on, we even see characters from Infinite Warfare, all being put into one overarching story. And this is narrated by a different Ghost than we see within the main AAA title games, but a different Ghost altogether. So from this, we start to see a story pieced together. However, after this, I really couldn't find too much story until they started releasing comics within the 6th season. So the first comic we have is called Once Upon a Time in the West, and it features Ghost, our kind of main character from the cutscene we saw before. However, this time he is a cowboy. Now, he essentially goes in and raids a facility, which by the end we are kind of left off on a cliffhanger. However, in the next issue, we find out that they have acidic bullets, and we find out that this is none other than Makarov's facility. And by the very end, we find out that Makarov is launching nukes, and they are going off. Now, the next issue takes place where the nukes are going off, once again starring none other than Ghost. And remember how I said you're going to have to keep in mind some of that Call of Duty knowledge you have? Well, do you recognize that building? Well, that is of course the Gulag, but it doesn't end there, because right after that, we are introduced to Mace alongside some killer clowns. Yes, the same clowns that we saw in Advanced Warfare. If you love callbacks, we are just getting to the beginning of this. But by the very end of the issue, we don't run into Captain Price in the Gulag this time. This time, we run into someone from a completely different franchise whatsoever. That is, of course, Viktor Reznov. Now, I'm trying not to go into too much detail with the story because there's actually a lot more here than you may notice, but you run into a lot of characters that you recognize. Just in this screen alone, we can see Mara, Ghost, So McTavish, and of course we are introduced to Price as well. Oh, and of course we also have Adler, and yeah, you're not seeing that wrong. That is Tank Dempsey in the background. Zombies characters are involved as well. Now, having all of these characters together is amazing, but some of the things that blow me away are some of the smaller references. Like in this issue, we can see very clearly this is the logo for the Atlas Corporation. Now, for those of you who don't remember, this is essentially going back to Advanced Warfare. And what Atlas Corporation was essentially a privately owned military organization that also specialized in exosuits and prosthetics for soldiers, things along those lines. And a lot of people may not have seen this, but this was actually a trailer recruitment video that Call of Duty made way back in the day.
When you were vulnerable, we gave you our strength. When you were sick, we delivered you the cure. When there was chaos, we brought you order, stability, safety, a chance to start again. Who are we? We're the way forward.
So what's crazy to me is this is barely mentioned within the comics and within the story of COD Mobile. It's literally just an image within it, and we can see Atlas Corporation providing aid like they talked about within that trailer, which is pretty cool. But it doesn't just end there, because recognize this logo? Yeah, the ghosts are a part of this as well, all together in one. So yes, this is just a glimpse of what this has to offer. There's also other characters from games outside of Call of Duty and other franchises as well. And all of this worked in together creates this overarching story that isn't on the same timeline or in the same universe of anything that we know from present day Call of Duty and the mainstream Call of Duties that we look at today. So as I mentioned earlier on in this video, if this is something that you'd like to see me dive deeper into and dive into the full story of Call of Duty Mobile, all you got to do to show me is simply hit that like button. And if we do dive into it, like I said, we have the original Call of Duties. We have the original Modern Warfare franchise. We have the new Modern Warfare franchise. On top of this, we have Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have Advanced Warfare, we have Infinite Warfare, and pretty much any other Call of Duty game you can think of. Even Call of Duty Ghosts makes its way in there. And I didn't show you here, but Rourke's in it too. So like I said, if you want to see a deeper breakdown of this story, maybe go through issue by issue in videos, hit that like button. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you've been playing Call of Duty Mobile, let me know what you're thinking of the game. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. But for now, that is what we have on the story. It's something that I didn't know existed, and maybe I filled you in on it today. So if you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. Make sure you stay up to date on all my videos. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're made